Hi, everybody. This is Rick from Positive Exposure. Positive Exposure is a nonprofit organization promoting a more inclusive and equitable world through educational programs, through photography, through film, through workshops, through webinars, and also through our multimedia exhibitions. Welcome to Positive Exposure and our shared humanity. Today, I'm here with my great friends and co-hosts, Kelsey Ferrill and Samantha Adair. And we're welcoming our very, very, very special, beautiful, gorgeous, stunning special guest, Chelsey Daniel. Hi, Chelsey.
Hello.
Thank you so much for joining us today, Chelsey. I'm super excited that we get to interview you.
Thank you.
Chelsey, how old are you?
I am 31. I will be 32 in June.
And where are you from?
I live in Lancaster, California, in Southern California.
That's awesome. Southern California is amazing.
Can
you tell us a little bit about your condition, about Moebius syndrome?
So Moebius syndrome is essentially the paralysis of the 6 and 7 cranial nerves. So that causes facial paralysis, like small mouth, high palate, or small palate, something to do with like the roof of the mouth, small jaw. Some people like me have what are called hand anomalies. There's varying degrees of how people are affected. Some people are affected more severely, and then other people I've met, like you can barely tell that they have it. So it's like most conditions, it's like a broad spectrum.
Okay. Yeah. What are your overall daily challenges?
I would say for me, like a personal challenge is, I guess, communication. Not that I'm not a good communicator, but more so that I'm like hesitant to try to communicate with people because I worry that they're not going to be able to understand me. Even though I know like 9 times out of 10, like I communicate with other people fine and they can understand me fine, but of course that like one time that it happens out of 10, like that's the thought that sticks with me. Yeah. So I would say that's of all the things, that's I would say my biggest daily struggle is communication.
How has living with Moebius syndrome affected your life socially?
I think it's made me more shy and timid than I guess like I truly feel like I am. Like I want to be like outgoing and not that I'm not fun, but like outgoing and like fun and an extrovert. But I feel like having Moebius and some of the like negative interactions I've had with people has kind of made me more like hesitant, I guess, to like approach new people and try to talk to them.
What do you feel are some of the barriers that we need to break in society?
Definitely the stigma that people that look different or have something different about them are less than. I know myself and I know Kelsey, and I've talked about this often of just dealing with like awful comments and ignorance. And it's not even ignorance, it's just people think it's okay to say like terrible stuff to us because I don't know if it's because we look different or they think that we're less than them. But yeah, I would say just the stigma and how we treat people with quote unquote differences are like the main, I guess, the main thing that society needs to change.
And to be honest, I think like you said, it's not about awareness or like anything like that. It's people
Yeah.
who just
It is, because you can look at someone, like you can look at me, or you can look at Kelsey, or anyone with like Moebius and facial paralysis, and it's like, if you're a relatively like with it person, you can kind of deduce for yourself, like, hey, their face is paralyzed or something. But it's the fact that people go from like that thought immediately to, I'm going to say something really
Yeah.
rude and terrible and awful. Like
yeah.
that's not lack of awareness.
And I feel like it's not usually people sometimes, but it's not usually people by themselves. It's like people in a group or
Well, I
like
think that's what it is. It's people like, I mean, it sounds so stupid, but like in their mind, like people trying to look funny or
yeah,
cute,
yeah,
uh,
totally agree. Yeah,
I
it's
always, when I, in like instances when I've encountered like a group of people that have said something ignorant, it's never like the ringleader, I guess, or whatever that says someone. It's like always one of the like little side people, and I always think like, oh, they must be insecure about themselves. So if they say something about me, that takes the attention off of them. I mean, I don't know if that's true with every like situation I've encountered, but there's definitely been instances where it's like, you don't like yourself, so you're gonna put me down.
exactly.
Even though we've never met.
Yeah, well, exactly. And that's the thing, like, it's not just like, it's not just you and me that they're saying this stuff to. It's like, because they can walk away and in 10 minutes, they'll probably
forget that they said that, but
exactly, but we never do.
10
You
years
know?
from now, I'll be like, hey, remember when that person said that about you? No, yeah, my mom has said that too.
Yeah.
So it's always the negative things, and I feel like you said in the beginning, like I have normal interactions with people all the time.
Yeah.
But then when you have to interact with someone, or like I have to make a phone call or whatever, it's always the negative interactions that
come to mind.
You think about. Yeah, exactly.
It sticks with you as you go through life when you've heard things like that over and over. And that obviously doesn't feel good. That's obviously going to stay with you and change how you perceive the people around you, because you're putting up a wall for protection almost.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
Do you feel that there are enough resources for accessibility for people with Moebius syndrome?
I think if you know what to look for, I mean, if you have Moebius or you have a child or someone that's been diagnosed with Moebius, obviously, like you can jump on Google and type that in, and the Moebius Syndrome Foundation will come up. I assume like the Facebook groups will come up. But I would say if you're someone that doesn't have it, has never seen it, but like you're out on the street and like you see someone with like facial paralysis, like chances are if you go and like Google that, it's probably not gonna be the first thing that comes up. So I would say there's enough resources if you know what you're looking for. If you don't know what you're looking for, there's certainly not enough awareness as to what Moebius is.
Okay.
Right.
Yeah.
And like, even, I don't know if you've experienced this, but when I go to like doctors or medical professionals, so many are like, oh, I've never heard of this.
Oh no, when I was pregnant with my daughter, like, it was a whole thing. Like, I was in labor, and the lady came in to do the epidural, and she's like, "Is this okay?" And I was like, "You're not gonna paralyze anything more."
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
I should just mention that for the people who are watching, that Moebius only affects 2 in 1 million people, approximately. So that it's super rare. So, you know, there's not enough education in the medical community. There's definitely not enough education, you know, just in your day-to-day lives about rare conditions. But Moebius is extremely rare.
yeah,
And it's neurological and congenital. It's
yeah,
not
you're born with it. You don't get it after you're born. You don't
exactly. It's
catch it.
right. You can't
It
catch it.
happens fairly early on, like in utero.
Yeah,
So,
Right.
yeah.
And it's not contagious. Like you can't get it by blood. Like
Yeah.
so. Yeah, music more awareness would be super great.
Chelsey, what's the biggest assumption that you face?
Definitely, like when people do make assumptions about me, I would say the most common one, and certainly the most frustrating one, is that I have like a developmental disability. Not that there's anything wrong with that, but I know, no, but like I assume that like that's held me back in like job interviews and stuff like that. So I would say that that's probably the biggest assumption. Also, as far as like my professional life, I would say that's the one that's like most impactful.
I've definitely watched that with Kelsey and
Yeah.
with her journey through school and work.
Yeah.
And I know that like it breaks my heart to know that people automatically assume things. It doesn't really matter what the assumption is, but it's like just assuming things about people. It's just so sad that it can impact your life in such a big way.
It's like don't assume. It's not about whether you have an intellectual disability, like whatever. Doesn't matter. That's not. It's don't assume things about anyone.
Not only that, like I know, like for jobs, like I would say I interview like pretty well. So like even if you were going on the assumption of like, oh, she might have some kind of developmental something going on, it's like if I interview well, like why and seem
exactly
competent, like why wouldn't you hire me anyway?
Why does it matter?
Yeah.
Exactly. So what do you want people to know about people with Moebius or anything? People with any condition?
Moebius specifically, just because we look different or some of us sound different or you might have to actually listen to us when we talk, we're not less than anyone else. As far as anyone with a physical difference or like developmental disability or anything, just treat us like human beings. Treat us how you would treat your friends or your mom or your brother or your sister. And I think the world would be a much more pleasant place if we treated people with like dignity and respect and weren't condescending and made rude comments and
Definitely.
Right.
Tell us a little bit more about yourself, Chelsey. What are your hobbies?
Well, I'm a single mom, so that takes up a lot of my time. I work full-time in the aerospace industry out where I live. When we're not in quarantine, I like going to the gym, I like going hiking, I like doing stuff outside. I'm really excited that it's finally nice out. I enjoy writing, mostly like poems and songs and short stories. I like riding motorcycles. I don't know, I do kind of a wide variety of stuff.
I like that.
Yeah.
And did you go to school for what you do for work, or are you in school?
I'm in school. I'm doing online classes through Arizona State. There's like a really good, like, fully online program, like outside of the campus that they have in Arizona, obviously. It's for criminal justice, so not really what I'm doing at work, although I'm interested in like maybe like the cyber security aspect of that, and I think that's something that I can kind of like roll into what I'm doing at my job, at least within the company that I work for.
That's really great.
Yeah.
When do you graduate from that program?
Hopefully next May.
If everything stays on track, right?
Stays on track and we're allowed to go out, hopefully in a year.
Thanks everybody. Thanks co-hosts. Continue staying safe and wash your hands.